All right, let's talk about something we literally all deal with every single day, recommender systems. You know, the algorithms that tell you what to watch, what to listen to, what to buy. But today, we're not talking about some tiny little update. We're looking at a huge, fundamental shift, a future where it's not an algorithm, but your own personal AI agent finding things for you. And it all starts with a feeling I'm pretty sure you're going to recognize.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You finish one season of a detective show, and suddenly your entire feed is nothing but detective shows, forever. Or you listen to one 80s power ballad playlist at a party, and now your music app thinks you're stuck in a time warp. It's like you're in an echo chamber of what you just did, and you're just screaming, "Show me something new," but the algorithm just isn't listening.
So why is it so clumsy? Well, it really boils down to a few big problems. First, these systems have zero common sense. They don't get that just because you love historical dramas, you might also be into a cutting-edge documentary on a totally different topic. They also can't figure out your real intent. You click on one goofy cat video out of curiosity and boom, the system thinks you want to be a professional cat video curator. It's just looking at your past clicks. And maybe worst of all, it's a one-way street. You can't just talk to it and say, "Hey, not tonight, I'm feeling adventurous."
To really break out of this loop, we need something way more powerful than just a slightly better algorithm. We need a totally new way of thinking about this. So imagine, instead of this passive suggestion box, what if you had like a world-class personal shopper for your digital life? Someone who doesn't just know what you bought yesterday, but actually understands your taste, anticipates what you might want next, and can have a real back and forth with you about it.
And that right there is the big idea. It's called an Agentic Recommender System. Basically, it's an AI agent running on a large language model. Yep, the same kind of tech behind things like ChatGPT. And it acts on its own. It doesn't just sit there waiting for you. It proactively interacts with you. It learns, it refines, it becomes a partner in discovery. The whole point is shifting from being passively told which you might like to actively collaborating with an AI to find it. It's a total game changer.
I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. We're going from reactive, waiting for you to do something, to proactive. From a static, fixed model to one that's constantly evolving right along with you. Forget one-way suggestions. We're talking about real, interactive dialogue. And that limited context, that's replaced by a comprehensive memory that understands your long-term goals, not just your last click. This isn't an upgrade, folks. It's a completely new paradigm.
You can actually map out the whole journey. We started at level 0 with those basic old-school algorithms. Then we moved up to level 1 using deep learning to get a bit smarter. Right now, a lot of companies are trying to get to level 2, adding some chatbots or interactive features. But the real destination, the frontier we're headed for, is level 3, fully autonomous, proactive agents that actually improve themselves over time. That's the holy grail.
So how does one of these agents actually think? You can basically break it down into a 4-part brain. First, there's profiling. It's constantly building the super deep, always changing profile of your tastes and interests. Then you've got memory. It remembers everything. The conversation you had last week, that weird movie you searched for 6 months ago, everything. Third is planning. This is the really smart part. It actually strategizes. Okay, based on everything I know, what's the best way to find what they're looking for? And finally, action. It goes out and does it. Searches, filters, and brings back the perfect thing.
What's really wild is that these agents are incredibly versatile. They can wear a bunch of different hats. For example, an agent can pretend to be a user to help test and train the system, which is a huge deal. Or it can be the recommender itself, that 4-part brain we just talked about. And get this, it can even do both at the same time, basically creating this constant feedback loop where it's always learning and improving itself.
And look, don't just take my word for it. The researchers behind this work put it perfectly. They say, "We foresee a paradigm shift toward intelligent, autonomous, and collaborative recommendation experiences." Think about those words. This isn't just about finding better movies. It's about fundamentally changing how we interact with information and making it a genuine collaboration.
Now, of course, this amazing future isn't going to just appear overnight. There's some really big hurdles to clear. Hallucination is a huge one. The AI just making stuff up, recommending a book that was never written. Then there's explainability. If we're going to trust these agents, we need to understand why they made a choice. We need to be able to peek under the hood. Safety is obviously critical too. We have to prevent bias and make sure the agent is working for you, not manipulating you. And all of this has to be efficient. It has to run fast enough to actually be useful in the real world.
So that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to ponder.
As these agents get smarter and more personal, that line between you actively searching for something and that thing being found for you is going to get really, really blurry. Will your next favorite song, your next life-changing book be something you discovered? Or will it be delivered to you by an AI agent that knows you, maybe even better than you know yourself? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.